Alright, quick update on Kadena. So, since our last video, we made a macro prediction of a 48% drop. We started to come down very harsh in the past couple of days. In fact, we came down 31%, but at this moment in time, within the past 12 hours specifically, we have started to witness a bounce. In fact, we are up 18% from the bottom, but do bear in mind, we did massively capitulate on the daily before this happened. So at this moment in time, we are only up 7.24%. So what is happening? Is this the bottom? Is the trend reversal about to happen? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Well, I actually do have to say this potential, I have to emphasize that potential double bottom down here does look pretty nice. However, I personally am not of the opinion that Kadena has bottomed yet. If you are new to the channel, bear in mind I'm not new to covering Kadena. I've been covering this since $6.50 and I've been bearish the entire time. We are now getting approximately a 75% discount. So I would like to say one thing. I know a lot of people that watch my channel, you know, people have been telling me in the Discord they were going to buy it at $5, $6, $7, and they watch my videos and, you know, they sat on the sidelines. We're now getting a 75% discount. So if you absolutely have to buy Kadena for the long term, I don't necessarily think now is the worst time to DCA. However, I really do have to emphasize that while we do have a 75% discount since I have started covering this, I do not think the bottom is in. In my subjective opinion, I still do think Kadena is going down to $1. I'm actually of the opinion that it could be heading down to 80 cents. We've got a lot of support down here. We've got previous trend lines. You can't really see it too well on the 4 hourly, but we've got, you know, touch points here, touch points here, touch points here, range of touch points throughout here. We've got a 1.618 at 81 cents. Also, you've got a 3.618 Fibonacci down here at 90 cents, and we have the psychological level of $1, which is not backed up by any technical analysis. This is backed up by psychological analysis because people always look for big round numbers. For example, I'm sure if, you know, for example, if you're new to the crypto markets, you may have not known that last year when Bitcoin was still kind of lollygagging, bouncing up, down, up, down, up, down, and people were saying Bitcoin is going to 100K. People were saying 100K, and now people are saying Bitcoin to 10K. No one's saying Bitcoin's going to go to $9,789.24, and no one was saying Bitcoin's going to go to $102,221.64. Like, people have big round numbers. People say 100K. People say, you know, 10K. People are now saying Kadena's going to $10, $100. You know, it's always a big round number. So a lot of people are going to be keeping their eyes on $1, and in my opinion, the price is still going to be magnetized to it. However, I do have to say we have had a tiny, I have to emphasize this as well, a very tiny increase in volume. Really nothing special. Obviously, we've been bleeding out for a prolonged period of time right now, and the market cap has been heavily diminished, so we do need a lot less volume to move us up and down. But, you know, you can very much see the volume has been very flat for quite some period of time now. I still do think we are very likely to head lower though, and if we do actually head over, let's see, because I spotted something. Was this on the daily or the 4 hourly? So on the 4 hourly time frame, this was on Bitcoin, my bad. So on the daily time frame, this is KDA against Bitcoin. So we're not quantifying how Kadena is performing against the US dollar anymore. We're quantifying how it's performing against Bitcoin, and you can see this chart is a lot more impressive. Why is it a lot more impressive? Well, because Kadena's up 7.5% against the US dollar, but Bitcoin is down, you know, 12% today, meaning that if Kadena's up, you know, 7.5% against the US dollar and Bitcoin's down 12%, then KDA BTC is up about 20%. So it's gone on a massive run on the daily. However, I would also like to highlight this is not the first time that we have done this. In fact, we witnessed 117% pump on the KDA BTC pair before subsequently slipping another 55% to the downside, and we are still 43% down from that move. And if we do zoom out, you can see, once again, this is not Kadena's first rodeo. I would like to heavily emphasize that I believe a lot of the altcoins have been absolutely butchered within the past month, within the past 6 weeks, and I am not going to be surprised whatsoever if Kadena has, you know, 100% pump, a 69% pump, a 2x, you know, a 1.5x. I just wouldn't be surprised. So yes, we can pump up to some of these higher valuations, but I am not of the opinion that this is what we should be banking on. In my opinion, I'm going to be sticking to my guns. I'm going to be waiting for a trend reversal, because I've been sitting on the sideline for Kadena since, you know, $6.50. So let's say hypothetically, I am wrong and the bottom is not in, and I was being too bearish by predicting a price target down at $1. I'd be very happy to accept that I was wrong, and I would still be buying if we break out of the EMA ribbons, we flip the daily EMAs, you can take out the invalidation point. This is just obviously hypothetical. This is saying if in the next 3 to 4 days we pump, if we do break out, back test and start shooting above, then potentially I could be looking at getting some KDA for $2.86, which at this moment in time, from when I was covering it, is a 55.7% discount, which is still absolutely amazing. If you, like myself, have been sitting on the sidelines, watching my videos, recognizing the trend is bearish, looking at the daily EMA ribbons and saying, you know, we do keep on bouncing into these EMA ribbons. We do bounce into them and we come back down. We bounce into them and we come back down. We bounce into them and we come back down. So is it completely out of the blue that we would bounce back into these EMA ribbons, especially with the large influx of volume we've got today? 165,000 Kadena bought on this daily time frame. Is this the bottom? In my opinion, no. This is the dead cat bounce before we do get rugged to one more level to the downside. Now, bear in mind, if you are new to my channel, I'm not a Kadena hater. I don't think this is going to zero. I'm not calling this a shitcoin or anything like that. I'm simply saying I'm looking at the trend. I'm leaving my emotions to the side. I'm not looking at the charts and saying this is where I'm going to buy because I'm emotionally attached to the price at this level. I'm not saying I'm going to buy at this level because this is where I think this is going to do this. I'm not saying I'm going to buy at this level because this is going to do that. I'm looking at the moving averages. That is the most robotic and unemotional thing you can do. I'm leaving my emotions to the side and I'm looking at the maths and I'm saying these are the EMA ribbons. At this moment in time, the downtrend is categorically defined by breaking down, getting rejected by the EMAs, breaking down, getting rejected, breaking down, getting rejected. So until we do hop above the daily EMAs, until we come back test them and start heading to the upside, I will not be buying KDA. That is the most unemotional and robotic way that you can look at these markets. I think when people use their emotions in charts, they get absolutely wrecked. For example, the XRP following, people have been very, very emotionally attached to XRP in this market cycle. But the fact of the matter is, if you just look at the charts objectively and you zoom out on the weekly time frame, it's been in a bear market since 2018. So, once again, this is one of those things where if you just leave your emotions to the side and you look at the chart for what it is, you'll get a very black and white picture. And at this moment in time, I do not think that Kadena has bottomed. And once again, I can be proven wrong, but if I am proven wrong, I will be buying for a 55% discount from when I flipped bearish. So with that being said, I hope you did enjoy the content today. If we do have a bounce, I would really not be surprised if we do come up to the daily EMA ribbons, because Kadena seems to like to outperform Bitcoin after having these mass slaughter fests. You can see normally you have a massive drop, huge pump, which is a lower high, massive drop, huge pump, which is a lower high, massive drop, huge pump, lower high, massive drop, huge pump, lower high, massive drop, huge pump, lower high. What are we doing right now? We have literally just experienced about 2 to 3 weeks straight of getting cascaded and landsliding below the charts. So it does seem like we are in this phase where we're going to see another bounce. At this moment in time, I do not have a crystal ball. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you 100% either way. I'm simply looking at the charts. I'm looking at the moving averages, and until we do flip above them, there's nothing else to say in my opinion. So the total crypto market cap, while the Bitcoin dominance is going down today, I would also like to highlight altcoins are still getting wrecked even on the daily time frame. Like, bear in mind, this is the weekly and this is only Monday, so we are still getting wrecked. Like, we have not really had that big bottom yet. Just like when we had a big wick getting bought up here, all we did is lollygag sideways before the next breakdown. So we've just had a huge breakdown. Do not be surprised if we lollygag to the side. In my opinion, it would not be outlandish whatsoever to expect Kadena, I mean, maybe even to come up to the second EMA ribbon, which is the 25 EMA, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that was the wrong moving average, the EMA ribbon. 25, yep, so the 25 EMA. I would not be surprised if we came up to here. So if we are going to bounce $2.13 might be on the table before we do have our next leg to the downside, which in my opinion is going to take us down to this range, which is between the price targets of approximately $1.80, as in, you know, the 80, or should I say, it should bounce between $1.80. So, you know, it could come down here, $1, could come down here to 80 cents. This is kind of where I think we're going to be bottoming. So, you know, if we are going to have a bounce, once again, we can head up another 32%. We can even head up a bit more if we are putting in a lower high below here at $3.46. And if we do not have a solid flip of the EMA ribbons, then nothing has changed. Once again, I really need to hammer this in. The next FOMC meeting is in the next 48 hours. If we are going to have a bounce, it is going to be in the next 48 hours. Do not get caught with your pants down. If the Fed announces that they're going to be raising the interest rates by 50 basis points or more, then once again, if your pants are caught down while you're having fun with Kadena, then the Bitcoin dominance is going to walk in and it's going to smack you in the face. So be super, super cautious. Bitcoin dominance is taking a big plunge right now, but it's also been in a massive, massive straight line up for the past couple of months. So be super, super cautious is all I'm saying. That's all I've got for Kadena. I will be letting you know if I do believe we're about to have a trend reversal. At this moment in time, I think the most likely scenario is a dead cat bounce before the next roll to the downside. So all I've got for you today, as always, not financial advice, cowboy out, and most importantly, peace.